The Chinese plug-in hybrid crossover segment is getting crowded very quickly, and at this point, almost every brand seems to have their own take on what the perfect electrified daily driver should be. This is the all-new Changan Nevo Q05, and today we're going to find out where exactly it stands against rivals like the BYD Sealion 6 and the Geely EX5 EM-i. At first glance, the Nevo Q05 follows a lot of the design language we've been seeing from modern Chinese EVs and plug-in hybrids. You get this very plain front fascia, sleek LED headlights, and then down below you have this supplementary lighting module integrated towards the bumper area. I would describe the overall shape of the Q05 as more of a rounded box design. It still keeps that crossover form factor people want, but the edges and surfaces have clearly been softened down, most likely to help with aerodynamics. The exterior overall is actually very minimalistic, and interestingly enough, that's going to be the complete opposite of what we're about to see once we get inside the vehicle. And honestly, I have started to really like this color on the display unit. I believe this is the Astral Diamond Black color, but depending on how the light hits it, it almost starts looking like a very dark shade of blue. For the wheels, the Nevo Q05 gets 18-inch wheels on the base SE variant and 19-inch wheels on the higher ID variant. Both are wrapped in two 25/55 tires, and I actually appreciate the generous sidewall this setup comes with. Personally, I think this is something first-time drivers would appreciate a lot because it gives you a bit more allowance when parking beside curbs compared to thinner profile tires. Moving towards the rear, the design is very distinctly Changan. One detail I immediately noticed was this rare brake light design integrated into the spoiler. It almost resembles a pause symbol, and it's one of those small details that makes the Q05 recognizable. Inside is where things get a bit more interesting. The interior of the Q05 is actually refreshingly familiar because, unlike a lot of newer Chinese EVs that move almost everything into the screen, this one still gives you a good amount of separate controls. And honestly, I think Chang'an handled this pretty well. Right below the 12.3 touchscreen infotainment system, you still get dedicated air conditioning controls. They're not physical buttons exactly, since they use touch capacitive controls, but I still appreciate the fact that Chang'an kept them separate from the infotainment display itself. The interior color scheme may look a bit monotone compared to what BYD and Geely are currently offering, but personally, I don't really think that's a bad thing. In fact, the whole dashboard design gives me very strong cyberpunk vibes. Like if somebody tried imagining what the inside of a superhero car would look like, this is probably how they would sketch it. As for the rear seats, things are fairly standard back here. You get a rear AC vent and some USB-C charging ports. And according to my girlfriend who sat in the back during the test drive, there wasn't really anything remarkable about the experience. Depending on how you look at it, that can either be a good thing or a bad thing. Personally, though, I don't mind that the rear seats aren't particularly memorable because they seem to do their job properly. Rear passengers stay comfortable enough that nothing really stands out negatively. One area where I do think the Q05 falls behind is their sound system. BYD and Geely currently offer some of the better speaker systems in this price point, and unfortunately, the Nevo Q05 just doesn't quite match them there. The speakers aren't terrible, but I was honestly expecting more considering the competition this vehicle is up against. And overall, while I don't think the Q05 has a bad interior design at all, I can definitely see some people finding it less refined compared to the interiors of BYD and Geely hybrids. Now here are the technical specifications for the Changan Nevo Q05. On paper, the Changan actually has a slight edge in both electric range and combined range figures. But realistically speaking, I don't think the difference would be all that significant once you start driving these cars in the real world. Combined horsepower and torque figures are also very similar to vehicles like the BYD Sealion 6 and the Geely EX5 EM-i. I remember hearing the saying before that there is no replacement for displacement, but now we have all three of these vehicles running 1.5-liter gasoline engines that mostly act as generators while still producing over 200 horsepower with the help of electric motors. So maybe there actually is a replacement for displacement now, and it's electrification. First off, I just want to appreciate the steering wheel Changan is using across their Nevo lineup. I genuinely enjoyed my time with the Nevo A05 sedan previously, and a huge part of that was because of the steering wheel shape. Aside from making me feel like I was driving something straight out of Cyberpunk 2077, it also does a really good job of keeping the gauge cluster visible without obstruction. Now, one realization I've had after doing multiple test drives of Chinese plug in hybrids is that a lot of them actually share a very similar driving feel, but where they really start separating themselves is in areas like NVH and cabin acoustics. And with the Q05 specifically, I did notice that it lets in more outside noise compared to the BYD Sealion 6 and the Geely EX5 EM-i. Interestingly enough, it reminded me a bit of what I experienced before with the BYD Sealion 5. Suspension tuning here is also slightly stiffer than the Sealion 6, but very similar in feel to the Geely EX5 EM-i. Acceleration though is definitely good. The dual hybrid transmission puts power down very well, and the car never really feels lacking in performance during overtakes or city driving. One thing I genuinely appreciate about the Q05 is that many of its driver assist and safety features are already available on the base SE variant. And one feature I specifically want to highlight is the built-in dashcam, because both variants already come with it from the factory. You'll probably still need to buy an SD card for it to fully function, but honestly, just having a built-in dashcam already adds a lot of convenience for buyers. Now, if there's one area I personally wasn't a fan of, it would probably be Chang'an's software experience. Now, if there's one area I personally wasn't a fan of, it would be Chang'an's software experience. The interface just has this slightly dated Android feel to it, and compared to the software system used by BYD and Geely, it doesn't appear quite as smooth or polished. The Changan Nevo Q05 starts at 1,259,000 pesos, and even at the base SE variant, you're already getting features that some competing brands only reserve for their higher trims. And honestly, that makes the Q05 a fairly compelling option in the plug-in hybrid crossover segment. However, one concern still remains is Changan's after-sales support situation, especially with the closure of dealerships outside Luzon, because no matter how good the product is, long-term ownership experience and support will still matter heavily for buyers entering the electrified vehicle space. And that's the Changan Nevo Q05. One thing I've really enjoyed over the past year is seeing just how quickly the Chinese automotive market is evolving. Every brand seems to have a different answer to the same question. What should an affordable electrified family car look like? For Changan, this is their answer. Now I want to throw the question over to you. If you had around 1.5 million to spend, would you choose the Changan Nevo Q05, the BYD Sealion 6, or the Geely EX5 EM-i, or something else entirely? I'm genuinely curious because a lot of these vehicles look very competitive on paper, but buyers often value completely different things. Some prioritize technology, others want comfort, efficiency, after-sales support, or simply the brand they trust the most. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you would choose and what's influencing your decision. If you enjoyed this review and want to see more honest test drives and impressions of the newest brands entering the Philippine market, consider subscribing. It really helps support the channel and allows me to keep bringing these vehicles to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.